Two teams. Kerry Collins, you see warming up right now, has suffered a broken jaw when he was hit by Bill Romanowski. Yesterday, we had a chance to talk to both parties about that incident.
After it happened, it was out of my mind. It was an unfortunate thing that, Kerry got hurt on the play and he broke his jaw. But in no way whatsoever was there any intent. I was just playing hard-nosed football. And, it was, like I said, just an unfortunate thing. But it's out of my mind.
It was a good, aggressive play. It was a perfect hit. I was turning at the right time. He was coming in free. I'm tall. He only had to duck his head a little bit and hit me there. So, all the circumstances there were perfect and right for, such a violent hit. But, that is part of the game. It is a violent game, and, it's something that, I never thought badly about. I never thought that was, something that, I thought was cheap or unnecessary.
There are the two, Romanowski on the right, Kerry Collins on the left, as snow starts to fall down again at Mile High Stadium.
And remember that incident,
yeah.
when they had that incident, the league fined Bill Romanowski $20,000. He appealed that, and
well, there was no penalty.
Yeah,
called on the play.
No, and that's one of the things that I said. One of the things I ought to check is who was supposed to have blocked
him. Yeah.
That's the thing. When you get a free shot at a quarterback from the blind side, you have to have some way that you're going to get that protected. I mean, that quarterback just can't stand there like a sitting duck and let a guy run free at him.
Panthers kickoff. Von Hebron is deep, and Hebron handles it. And he gets it out to the 38-yard line. Elway talking about the weapons that he has, and look what they've done in the first half.
Well, here's the big one always is John Elway himself. He's 11 out of 14, but look what Shannon Sharp has done. 7 catches in the first half for 154 yards. For a lot of tight ends in the league, that's a good 3-game total.
Yeah.
But you're not Shannon Sharp, and you don't have John Elway throwing to you. A lot of other tight ends in this league.
17-0. Elway to Davis gets about 9. Chad Cota made the stop. First half statistics. Tough first half.
Yeah, the big thing is right here. I mean, the score is 17-0, but 14 of those points came on punt returns of Darian Gordon, and that's been the story. I mean, if they didn't have those punt return yards and those 14 points off of punt returns, this would be kind of a 3-0 boring game.
Kind of a standoff. Here's Davis. Still going, carries a man, carries Minter across the 40 to the 38.
I mean, this is the thing that Davis does. I mean, he just keeps coming at you. And here, this is a good offensive line, this Bronco offensive line. They just get, a hat on a man and just stay with him and take him where he wants to go, and then just let Davis pick a hole. And Davis on that hole picks about 2 or 3 holes. But the thing that he does, he keeps going. Never stops his feet.
Gets another carry. Davis got him by the ankle. Tyrone Poole made the stop, or he would have had another 10-plus yard run.
They always feel up here when you play in Denver that they're going to get you in the second half, that this altitude and this big offensive line, Terrell Davis running the ball at you, that they're going to wear you down.
Yep. And
it's really going to show in the 3rd and 4th quarters. And the Broncos are doing a pretty good job offensively. They don't have any points, but they have yet to punt in this game.
That's one reason the Panthers have no return yardage. Elway's hit. Just as he lets it go, it's Ron Smith who makes the catch, but Elway took a real shot.
They better get, that blitz block. They better get old Greg Cragen again. Cragen in here in that middle, just a battler. You see the blitz gets him, and Cragen is right there behind him. You see Cota kind of hid in there behind him where they couldn't see him, and then he came late. Elway got that ball off to Rod Smith with with that blitz coming right at him, and Cragen coming right at him.
And a heck of a catch by Rod Smith. 2 tight ends set up this time. Sharp goes in motion. Elway back to throw. He's tough as well. To Davis, incomplete. Could have caught it.
Anytime you hear a ball hit hands, those are bad hands. You know, you can hear good hands by not hearing it. Anytime you hear slap, those are bad hands.
We used to have a guy we called Cymbals. And you could hear it when those ball hit. When the ball, he even missed the ball, and sometimes he just clapped his hand.
We used to have a guy whose nickname was Oops.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball, he'd get open, he could run like heck, and then he'd drop and say, oops.
Elway gets to Davis. There's not much there.
You know who's a good player for this Bronco offensive line is Gary Zimmerman. You know, and he's been for a long time. He retired this year, and you know, his shoulders were bothering him, and he had a lot of pain last year, and he told Mike Shanahan that he wasn't going to play again, and then Mike Shanahan called him in preseason. He said, well, you know, I'm starting to feel a little better at the end of preseason. Well, I'm starting to feel a little better. And he gave him a date, you know, a month into the season. He called him and said, I'm ready to come back, Coach.
I remember when we thought he was huge, 295. Now he's just average. And the rush gets to Elway.
And that's Les Miller. And
yep.
he went around the other tackle, Tony Jones. Watch Tony Jones here. I think he's getting very close to lining up in the backfield, by the way. And you see, and he's blocking the outside guy, and he just gets run over right there. That's
the
just
old hump move.
That's just poor pass protection there. That was Michael Barrow, who was a linebacker and really an undersized line. He only weighs about 235 pounds, but he got Tony Jones at the right time and just jacked him up.
Elam from 50 yards. That was good. And the Broncos increase their lead to 20-0 over Carolina.
I'm the road to Canterbury. Hello, dear. Smith was that he was coming when he was outside Phil, and on running plays away from him, he was coming down the line of scrimmage. So we asked Pete Carroll yesterday, you know, what have you done to counteract this? He says, we will always have someone slowing him down so he can't come free down the line of scrimmage.
For this man, Smith, still one of the best in the league. 11 sacks this year, leads the NFL coming in. First down, New England. Fake reverse to Brown. Bledsoe over the middle. Incomplete. Well read.
By the Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort. And by Gossamer Bay Vineyards. Wine with a taste that's meant to be shared.
In Mile High Stadium.
We're just taking a look at old number 38 there.
Yeah. Bates. And Bates stays on his feet. Got some good returns today. If it weren't for Darian Gordon, they'd be excellent returns.
That's a two-handed up fumble. He got it. Salute.
Yeah.
And then the run off. Now you're talking.
Now, is he proud?
Huh? He's done a great job. Two hands, holds on to it, put it away. Whew. He said, now go back to daddy.
Give me 5. Fred Lane takes another hard hit, this time from Steve Atwater.
Yeah, they know about Fred Lane today.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talked about ganging up in the run. They're not going to let Carolina run on first down. I mean, the Broncos play a gap-controlled defense. Every guy has a gap, and then they bring that strong safety or free safety, Steve Atwater, up, and he has a gap, and he's also right at the line of scrimmage. There's no place to run.
Fullback Scott Green. Ray Crockett up to make the hit.
Yeah, we talk about a gap defense, and these are the gaps. There's 8 gaps. You have outside here is a gap, inside 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the 8 gaps that you have in any defense. So then you have to have a man in every one of those gaps. So you have a single gap, and when you play a gap-controlled defense, one of those guys has to be in every gap on the running down.
Third about 8. Broncos showing blitz. Mobley came. Pass is caught by Carrier, and Carrier will get the first down. Good throw by Collins.
Yeah, the Panthers can do it. They just haven't been able to do it consistently, and the thing that's really hurting them is not being able to run the ball. And like they said, they know who Fred Lane is today. They're ganging up on that run on first down. So maybe what the Panthers should do is start to throw a little more on first down, and then maybe run once in a while on second down. But you know, throw on running downs and run on some throwing downs.
Lane is the deep back. They send him in motion. So maybe they're going to follow your advice. Collins drops, fires, complete to Wesley Walls, who's near first down yardage.
Yeah, you know, Wesley Walls is the Panthers' answer here to Shannon Sharp. And you see, no one touches him, and anytime no one touches him, Bill Romanowski was on him.
Yeah.
And looked like he was going to, get his hands on him, and instead he blitzed. And then that left Wesley Walls with a free release. And anytime he gets a free release, he is going to find an open hole and a spot for Kerry Collins to throw him the ball.
First down, Carolina. Nobody in front of Walls this time. And he'll throw on first down again. And it's caught by Carrier, and Carrier's inside the 20. Stopped by Crockett.
That's that timing pass that time. Kerry Collins throws the ball before Carrier makes that last move. Watch Carrier. This is going to be like one of those fade stop things. He's going to go like he's going up, like he's going on a fade. Then he's going to stop right there. And the ball is in the air already. You see when he turns around, the ball is right there. The Panthers run that pattern, that fade and that fade stop very well.
Collins throws it very well. Scott Green was the lone back. Now he sits up, and again the Panthers would throw on first down, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Ray Crockett. The Panthers can't buy a break. This deflection intercepted.
We'll go to McDonald's.
Did somebody say McDonald's? I could go for a Big Mac.
And some McDonald's fries.
McDonald's.
Took the handoff. I'm going to tell you something. And we're sitting right here to the left of it, folks, up high, and saw Willie McGinnis. And I'm going to tell you something. At real speed, you want to see a collision. Here he comes, number 55, Willie McGinnis. Watch this. That hurts. Now that hurts.
And boiling currents pound like drums when something wicked this way comes. Introducing the faster, sleeker, meaner GS.
Monday, Allie's boss gets flagged for an illegal procedure.
Oh, God, no. He's gonna picket.
Ugh. An all-new Ally McBeal, Monday after Melrose Place.
During that break, Johnny Greer and the rest of the officials had a long meeting. There were flags on the play. They came over to Mike Shanahan, and he went to the Carolina side.
Now Johnny Greer is going over there.
They had a long meeting first. Now he's talking to Dom Capers.
Looks like they marked the penalty off against the Denver Broncos, but it is the Broncos' ball on the interception by Ray Crockett. Ernie Greer should be telling us here shortly.
Should be.
He told everyone else. He ought to tell us now.
We'll be the last to know.
We have offsetting personal fouls. Number 94 on Denver, number 75 on Carolina. Both players are ejected.
Keith Traylor,
it is right there. They're both trying to get punches in there. They're trying to get some body punches in there.
That looked like more of a wave than a punch.
Strepanak out, Traylor out.
They're both ejected.
Carolina had a big thing with the Raiders last week.
That's Hebron. Talk about your change of pace. He can do it.
When a player is ejected, he has to leave the field. If Greg Strepanak there leaving the field now. They could not stay. They could not stay in the bench. They have to leave.
That's a load leaving. First and 10, Denver. A run by Hebron. Here he is again. And this time, only a couple.
And this is the area that Denver hasn't been very good today. If you say, you know that they're ahead 20-0, but if there's an area, it's just third down. They've had 8 third downs, and they've only converted thus far 1 of them. And they haven't been very good on 4th down either.
Well, they haven't had to punt all day.
No, but they've had to go on 4th down, and they've had to settle for field goals or field goal tries, and they haven't scored an offensive touchdown.
Elway back to throw. Incomplete. Low, intended for Rod Smith. You know, one of the amazing things about Elway, not his ability, although that's amazing too, but his endurance. I looked at it, just happened, one of those pages that you just happen on in the media guide. Number of plays played for a franchise, for a team. He's played 5,000 plays more than anybody else for Denver.
That's experience.
That's 5,000 more.
But he's quite a guy. I mean, he's an amazing player.
Here comes the rush, and he's trying to get away from it. He's chased by Royal.
That's going to be another third close down conversion.
Yeah.
I mean, when they haven't made first downs, they've gotten awfully close on a lot of them. They've had a lot of measurements for third down and had to kick a field goal or go for it on 4th down.
This time they got a punt, I think.
Now, we said earlier that Mike Shanahan is an aggressive play caller, but I think with this field position and with this situation where you have the game under control, I think you have to punt.
Tom Ruin is number 16.
The fans don't like it, they'll do that because that's short. I mean, there's only, you know, if you look over there, it looks like there's only a couple inches.
There's a flag on the play, thrown way back.
Yeah, the deep official back here in the 25-yard line.
Now he picked his flag up and put it back in his pants.
I wonder if he's saying that just fell out or something.
No, I saw him throw it.
I wonder what he was thinking.
I don't know.
I was thinking, I haven't seen Denver punt all day. What's this?
It's a pretty good kick. Carolina's lucky to get the ball back if they did. They signaled that they did. Johnson fell on it. The punt returner, Winslow Oliver, saw somebody coming, I think.
Well, what he did is he let the ball get too close to him. You have to catch the ball out in front of you, and I think that ball hit him in the face mask and the shoulder pad.
It did. 20-0. Denver leading, 4:58 left in the third.
Turns out the worst mistake a defense can commit is throwing an interception. It's the drive to succeed that makes a champion. Pitching in, fighting the battle as a team. Using heart, not just mind and body. Giving whatever it takes. Going the distance for the fan. And loving every minute of it. Southwest Airlines is a proud sponsor of the NFL and the official airline of Super Bowl 32.
How far will Mulder go to save Scully?
Quit the FBI. Come work for me.
The monumental 100th episode of The X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Pat Summerall, John Madden. We're at Mile High Stadium in Denver, 20-0. The Broncos leading Carolina, the first time they've ever met in regular season play. Two tight ends set up. That's Walls in motion. Collins to Wesley Walls. Walls makes the reception to the 46. And right now, again, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Pat and John, Eddie George close to 100 yards on the ground today. Here's one of his touchdowns. 7th touchdown this season. Tennessee leading the Giants. The Giants lose. There'll be a first-place tie in the NFC East with the Redskins. Back to Pat and John.
Things are happening that makes this stretch drive by everybody interesting. Collins back to throw it. Pass is picked off. That's Ray Crockett. Went to the well once too often.
Yeah, Ray Crockett keyed that one all the way. He's looking back. Watch Ray Crockett here. He's looking back in here at Terry Collins and feeling the receiver. He sees that ball thrown, and he gets a great jump on it. In fact, he gets a better jump on it than Ray Caruth, the receiver guy.
There's no question that computers open up entirely new...
Unimpeded to the quarterback. He's got his hands on the quarterback. He knew himself. That's why he didn't throw Todd Collins on the ground. He knew that he was there. He was waiting himself for the whistle to blow, and they're leaving his quarterback exposed.
Defense, number 55, offside, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Great call. Bad whistle. It was 53, Chris Slade, as you all saw, that jumped offside.
All right, take a look at it. Now watch what Chris Slade does. All right, he's across. Now he's unimpeded to the quarterback. He's there. They should blow the whistle. He's got him. Even Slade stops. He knows that he shouldn't be grabbing this guy.
Will be revealed. Will Joe Namath help Bart Simpson win the championship? Is Bobby Hill the next supermodel? Then the startling conclusion of the season premiere of the X-Files tonight. So many secrets, just one Fox. First down, Denver after the Crockett interception. Elway back to throw. Incomplete, and flags come flying. Not much doubt about it.
That's going to be on Tyrone Poole.
Yep.
Because he wasn't looking back, and he ran into the receiver. But Rod Smith is here. Tyrone Poole is here. He's just running it up. He gets to the outside. Now, Tyrone Poole is beaten by a step or two. And see, he just runs right into Rod Smith before he turns. But you see here he doesn't look. Now he hits him as he's turning.
Now, that's pass interference.
Yeah, when the ball is in the air and the defender hits the receiver, that's pass interference.
Here's Elway. Roll to throw and fires. Incomplete. On the hop. Intended for Davis. It didn't quite get there. There's a flag on the play.
He made a pretty good move on Les Miller out there. Les Miller was the defensive end, and he had contained. And as Elway come out there, he made a little move on Les Miller that kind of froze him so that he could throw that ball. Yeah, that's what he does with the ball. I mean, you know, he's not a great runner anymore, but he's a great mover to get in position to throw the ball.
He was at one time a heck of a baseball player.
He was a pro baseball player. Played in the Yankees.
Number 69, offense. It's declined. 2nd down.
Watch this move that I was talking about. You see how he comes out here in a bootleg. Now watch Les Miller here. He has to give him a little move right there and stop right there. You see what he did to Miller? now he bought that time in order to throw that ball in the end zone.
2nd and 10. Elway deep in the corner. Rod Smith, touchdown.
Well, they got to Tyrone Poole first on the penalty, and then they got to him on the up. Rod Smith got him. Here's Rod Smith here. Here's Tyrone Poole here. And he's playing off, and you think you can't throw that pattern. But again, Tyrone Poole just waited there too long. He just sat. He got in no man's land, and he froze. And Rod Smith ran right by him. And, of course, with a guy like John Elway, he sees you get a step. He is going to give you the ball in the end zone.
And he just snatched it out of the air.
Now, that is a list right there, those 4 guys.
And Denver takes a commanding lead. 27-0 over Carolina. 3:53 left in the 3rd.
Did we rent with Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Did we rent with Hertz #1?
3 left in the 3rd quarter. Denver 27, Carolina nothing. 2 huge punt returns by Darian Gordon got the Broncos underway. Jason Elam to kick it off. Michael Bates back deep. Bates at the 5. Bates down at about the 28.
It's interesting how the Broncos offensively, kind of worked in that first half. Shannon Sharp worked Shannon Sharp all the time, and then on that last drive decided to go to the outside and work on Tyrone Poole, and boom, boom, right down there in the end zone for a score.
Darius Johnson, number 25. Wind or something knocked out of him.
These special teams, these players have gotten a lot of stuff knocked out as they run down there. Remember, Dwight Stone got hit earlier. We have a report on him. There was no concussion. He was just shaken up.
Here's Collins to throw. Pass is incomplete. Ishmael, the intended receiver, fell down.
Yeah, see, it's supposed to be the deal is that the offense knows where they're going. The defense doesn't. So the offense is supposed to make the defensive guy fall down. But the Panthers have been falling down on offense themselves. You see, this is the opposite of what's supposed to happen. You see, you're supposed to go make a move. The defender doesn't know where you go. He's supposed to fall down.
That's what the book says.
Yeah, well, I mean, what Elway did to Les Miller there on that play. Offense, you have the ball, you know what you're doing. They have to react.
That's Anthony Johnson on 2nd down. There's not much doing.
Did you see that guy earlier? There was a guy walking around here in a barrel.
Yeah, I saw him.
You wonder how he decides when he wakes up in the morning. I think I'll get dressed and wear a barrel, or where you even put something like that. Like you go to your closet or your drawer. You get dressed, you go to the closet.
Put it around your middle, I hope.
No, but where do you put it to store it to say I'm going to go get my barrel to wear?
Why, you don't store it.
What do you do with it?
Well, it's got suspenders, or you hang it up in your closet. Flag on the play.
More ways you can dress for a game, though.
76, offense. Prior to the snap. Still 3rd down.
David's Garrido. You get hungry. I don't know how good it is.
Look at that guy.
Yeah. 3rd and 15. 27-0 Denver. Collins back to throw. Up the middle, and what a catch by Wesley Wall. That was the old fastball.
Yeah, that was the old fastball in there. Wesley Walls is upset because he knows that he didn't get the distance for the 1st down. You see, he's there on Aldrich, he's there on a linebacker, but he knows that it's 3rd down, and he has to get beyond the down marker, and he didn't do it. He got the completion, but when you go short, then you have to end up with your punter.
Darian Gordon, I'm sure by now somebody has told him that he's one of 8 people to score 2 touchdowns in a game on punt returns. I don't don't think he has much of a chance with this one. Flag on the play as the ball bounds into the end zone. There's Wesley Walls upset with himself. He was upset last night a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had a bad day yesterday.
Left his playbook on top of the car.
Well, first of all, he had locked his keys in the car.
His wife's car.
It was his wife's car. Had to get a locksmith. And when the locksmith came, he put his playbook on top of the car. Locksmith got in the car. He drove off. Playbook flies off in the road.
And luckily,
Les Miller was driving behind him, almost ran over it and picked it up for him. He was going to print another one. Then he came with a fancy Italian top coat, and he gave it to the flight attendant. And when he got off, he gave him another one. He was showing that he had an expensive top coat, and someone said, "That's a cheap top coat." They gave him the wrong top coat.
He said it was so good.
Number 82 of the kicking team went out of bounds and stayed out of bounds during the play. Will penalize and re-kick.
That's Bates.
Yeah, the thing that you have to do, that's Michael Bates. Now, he can go out of bounds, but he has to try and get back in. Although he's trying to get back, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Either.
No, that's a bad call. Had he stayed and ran or gone on the other side of the bench, but he got knocked out of bounds, then he came up, and then he was trying. He was angling to get back in. That was a bad call.
He couldn't touch the ball after he went out of bounds.
No, he can't go out of bounds and come in and be the first guy to touch the ball.
And I don't know if Wesley Walls got his coat back or not.
Well, as of 7 o'clock last night, he didn't. He had someone else's top coat, and someone else had his expensive Italian. He called it an Italian top coat.
Yeah, and his said American edition. Gordon's going to have a chance with this one if he can track it down, and he does. But not much of a chance. Chad Cota down to make the stop.
You know, when
yes, snow.
In November, you know, you start looking for leg. I mean, you start looking for turkeys and, you know, in their legs and stuff, and you just see all this stuff in here, and you think there's something in there that makes sense to me. I'm not sure what it is.
Food.
I'm not sure where it is, but there's some turkey legs in there.
Yeah.
You start to think about when you get snow in November.
Start giving thanks. Here's Davis. He just was very patient. That looked like it was going to be nothing, and he just waited and waited and waited and finally turned it upfield.
You know what Terrell Davis was in high school? He was a nose tackle. He went to Lincoln High School in San Diego. He was a running back, too, but how'd you like to be the nose tackle and have a talent like Terrell Davis and say, okay, I want you to play over the center and play two gaps. You know, you hit the center, and you got the gap in your right and the gap in your left.
Now look at this, 16 times for 70 yards. It doesn't seem like he's gotten that many yards.
No, it's a quiet 70, and if he keeps going, he'll probably have 100 in the next 10 minutes.
He probably will. That one wasn't so quiet.
Well, he's had a couple of 200-yard games. And asked him yesterday, is there any difference in the way they feel? And he said, no. Here's Terrell Davis there, I formation. He starts there, he sees the hole there, and he's always looking for a cutback lane. If you run at a hole, get up into or close to the line of scrimmage, and then your peripheral vision will find a soft spot.
That's Eric Davis of the Panthers.
You know, I don't think that they've caught a pass all day on Eric Davis.
I don't think so.
We saw Tyrone Poole, you know, that last touchdown pass on them. Most of the passes that the Broncos completed earlier, of course, were to Shannon Sharp, to the backs, and then to Rod Smith over there on Tyrone Poole.
Eric Davis has had McCaffrey.
I don't think Ed McCaffrey hasn't caught a ball today. Watch, you'll see Eric Davis there. Now watch, and someone just comes and falls right on his right leg.
Davis headed for the sideline. He's been a real steadying influence.
Well, you know, he's a real smart player. In fact, he was saying that he learned football from Tim McDonald when he played with the 49ers. That was a heck of a backfield. Remember, they had Deion Sanders on one corner, Eric Davis in the other corner, Tim McDonald and Merton Hanks as safeties. And
that was a heck of a backfield.
And he said that was the best group that he ever played with. In fact, that would be one of the best groups that anyone ever played with.
Davis again. And again, it looks like they had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he got about 3 yards. Les Miller. Davis, you know, if he can average the rest of the year something like 130 yards, if he can do that, he'll be over 2,000. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Denver 27, Carolina nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Bruce Willis stars in the network premiere of Die Hard with a Vengeance, Tuesday on Fox.
And then he got right up. And that's one of the reasons why his offensive linemen love him. He's very durable and resilient.
Just when you think of Buffalo, they get up the field. Look at that, coming in the backfield. There's nowhere to go for Curtis Martin. He does a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Would they dare throw here? Hey, remember the Green Bay Packer game? Would they dare throw the ball here? New England?
Well, honestly, the situation calls for a pass if you're going against this defensive front.
They go to the run. Martin, touchdown. Curtis Martin sends New England back in front by 3 scores. And there's something about number 23 for this New England team for the last 2 years. 23 is the spot. If they score 23, they win. If they don't score 23, they lose. So they're on that winning margin.
Your grilled onions and topped with lettuce, pickles, and our own classic sauce. Available now for only 99 cents. Get yours today. They're sure to go fast.
Boy, what they say about the weather, about if you don't like what it is, stick around a while, it'll change, and it's changed. Blue skies up overhead.
Yeah, I was going to leave tonight, and I decided to stay over tonight because it was a snowstorm, and it's not now.
Elway, incomplete. Intended for Shannon Sharp. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the NFL is prohibited.
That was a play that they were going to get a touchdown on that one. They put Shannon Sharp out to the outside and had a linebacker out there on him, and Michael Barrow, and they were going to go to work deep on it and just didn't get it.
So it's third and about 4.5. Elway juggles the high snap. Going to throw it up in the air deep again, and Rod Smith makes incomplete. He had it and dropped it on the way down.
Now they were going to work on Tyrone Poole over there. You can tell that, you know, first of all, they were going to get the run, and they were going to get Shannon Sharp, and then if they're going to pass deep or pass to a wide receiver, was going to be to their left against their right corner. Poole was in pretty good shape that time. I mean, you know, that time he got there, got turned around, and had his hand and arm in there about the same time the ball got there.
Ruin back to punt. His first today was 45 yards. Winslow Oliver back deep for Carolina.
Carolina's coming on a punt block.
He'll get it out of there. The coverage is down. He signals fair catch. That was a very wise decision. 27-0.
Just when you think you know where the new Dodge is headed, they turn things around on you. Introducing Durango, a whole new kind of roomy, powerful, versatile sport utility. As you can see, the new Dodge is covering new ground, some of which seems to be covering me. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
I wrote this letter. Dear Lotus, I think the web should be used for surfing and having fun, Not for business. Business is boring. Mikey Powers.
You know what, Mikey? Guess what? You're a kid. You can't vote, you can't drive, you can't handle the fact that big companies are using the web to save $1 billion and get the products to market faster. All you care about is fooling around on your computer, right? But who pays for that fancy computer, huh? Your parents. How do they make money? Business. So you know what, Mikey? Go to bed.
Hey, NFL fans, do us a favor, please. Put something on. Like officially licensed NFL merchandise at Goodyear. Right now, get some of Goodyear's best selected tires like Aquatreads, Eagles, and Wranglers. And get $50 or $75 good towards officially licensed NFL merchandise at participating Goodyear retailers. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR for the retailer nearest you. Great Goodyear treads, incredible NFL threads. Oh, nice fashion statement, fella.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. By fast, reliable FedEx. It's the way the world works. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
The Broncos 27, Carolina nothing. Panthers ball at their own 14. They haven't been able to get anything going on offense. Collins fighting to stay upright, but Lodish, Williams.
They go Lodish in there. They put him on in there on first down to stop the run. He gets the pass. There's the guy with the barrel. He had to pick up that thing and decide he was going to get in that.
Where does he keep it?
That was what he was going to do. That's what I said. Is that a closet thing or is that a drawer thing? Because they, you know, good pass rush. Really, that's like a jailbreak. I mean, it wasn't. Lodish gets the sack, but they had about 4 guys in there on Kerry Collins.
2nd and 14. Collins back. Reception made by Fred Lane. Boy, has he got an indoctrination today after that big game last week.
Alden Aldridge has been a big part of that, too.
Yes,
I mean, you remember that time that Fred Lane ran in there and Alden Aldridge hit him and caused a fumble, and he's been all over the place today. Alden Aldridge has come up with a lot of big plays. A couple of weeks ago against Buffalo, he hardly played because of 3 and 4 wide receivers. They take him out on nickel as they did now, but when he's been in there on 1st and 2nd down, he's made his presence felt today.
3rd and 11. 3 wide receivers. Collins. Pass is intercepted by Braxton, and Tyrone Braxton is into the end zone for Denver.
11-year veteran, strong safety Tyrone Braxton just sitting there in the zone, reading Kerry Collins' eyes. You're just going to see him. He's just going to be sitting there right in the middle. You see him, they drop off, and they have a zone, and he's just sitting there just waiting, and then the ball comes, and he just gets a jump. He didn't have a man. He was just sitting back there watching Kerry Collins, watching him. The ball was thrown. He just jumps and gets it.
Sitting back in the zone, waiting.
And looking.
And scoring. The point by Elam is good with Ruin holding. And the Broncos increase their lead to 34-0. And number 34 scores the points to make it 34-0.
How do you stop a rhino from charging? How?
Travel with Joseph. Lovely sight.
Looks like a Christmas card.
Yeah. A Thanksgiving card, at least. That's what it's been for Denver. 2 punt returns, touchdown. And 1 pass interception, touchdown. Bates back deep. Line drive kick is fielded at the 1. Bates to the 27. And again, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Hey, Pat, a 32-yard punt return by Eric Gulliford set up this 1-yard TD run by Ray Zellers that snaps 11 straight quarters without a touchdown for the Saints. It's all tied in Oakland at 10. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Well, JB, that score is a surprise, that 10-10, and this one here is a surprise, too. 34-0 Denver.
Yeah, well, 10-10, you get two teams in New Orleans and the Raiders that are really disappointing. I mean, neither one of those teams are playing very well. Yeah, there's been a lot of this in this game today. You know, when the play's over, you see Michael Bates push, and you know, a lot of those types of things that are kind of unbecoming and not what you'd expect from the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos.
Collins still the quarterback, and he gives to Lane, and Lane gets a couple. Squirms around. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stinner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Associate directors Mike Roig. The broadcast associates are Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producers Bob Muller. The studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
Yeah, we said that the Denver Broncos know about Fred Lane. He's carried the ball 8 times today for only 18 yards.
Here's Collins back to throw it. Gets to Deshmail. Short gain. Short of a first down also.
Yeah, the Broncos are really beating them in every area.
Yep.
I mean, they beat them, you know, on defense, the Bronco defense against the Carolina offense. They beat them on offense, and obviously they really destroyed them on special teams.
Well, they were sort of on a mission on defense because people have broken some long plays against them. Other than the long plays, they hadn't played poorly.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you get that when you get that 8-man up. If you break the 8-man, there's only 3 left.
Collins rolls to his right. Scott Green was the intended target. It's incomplete. He would have had a first down if he hung on.
You see who was chasing him again? Mike Lodish was out there. Big old Lodish out there. He's having a heck of a game for himself. He's stuffing the run. He's getting a couple pass rushes. He got in a foot race that time with Kerry Collins. It was Collins, Lodish, Lodish, Collins, Collins, Lodish, Lodish, Collins. Collins got the ball away.
Have you ever done a race?
That was a race. A little foot race out there.
Sort of like down the stretch.
Down the stretch they come. Collins and Lodish.
I think I know who wins eventually. Gordon signals fair catch and made it, and the Broncos will take over at their own 18-19 yard line perhaps. 34-0 they lead.
We surprised you with the largest interior in the class, the biggest engine available.
34-0. Denver leads Carolina. 11:30 left to play in the fourth. Started out to be a dismal day. Has been a dismal day for Carolina. But I mean, weather-wise, snowing, freezing rain earlier in the day.
Yeah, last night when we talked to Dom Capers, he said we also brought heated benches. They shipped them up from Carolina. They brought their own benches,
and that's what it looked like.
Yeah, and they brought them in the snowstorm, and it looked like that was really going to be the thing today because they have them on their sideline. The Broncos don't have them. See, and they can pump that heat right in there. Then it goes right in here to these foot things. So you can get it, you know, where you sit, and you can also stick your legs
your feet
in there. Get your feet in there. But I think we found out today it's not the benches, but who's sitting on the benches.
Yeah. Davis again.
Because these Broncos over here on this sideline, they just have steel benches or aluminum benches or something like that, but they sure filled the bill.
Davis has 98 yards now. No place to put your feet on that bench. Of course, the special teams have been involved for Denver. The offense, the defense has been excellent.
Yeah, you just kind of leave your feet in your shoes. That's usually sufficient.
You can stay warm. Here's Elway. Shannon Sharp is wide open and gets into Carolina territory, knocked out of bounds by Chad Cota.
I think anytime Shannon Sharp is started and come across the middle, you see here he starts across the middle, he's been open all day.
Oh, same pattern.
Yeah, I mean, it's that same type of pattern that somewhere along there in that zone, there's going to be a hole. Shannon Sharp knows how to get into that hole, and then, of course, John Elway knows how to find him when he's in that hole.
Season high in yards for Shannon Sharp. Just over midfield. McCaffrey in motion. And the handoff is to Davis, and Davis now is over 100 yards.
Well, you could see that coming. He said when he was in high school and he was a young player, he said he used to want to be like Tony Dorsett. In fact, he had number 33,
yeah.
and that was the guy. And now there's a heck of a lot of kids in high school and junior college and college that I'm sure that want to run like Terrell Davis, because he's something special. I mean, he's something special.
And you could just tell that.
Yeah, as a football player, and he's something special as a guy. I mean, the Terrell Davises are good for this league.
Hebron has replaced Davis. This is Von Hebron. Yesterday, we talked to Terrell Davis about how much he enjoys playing in the NFL.
I think I'm having a good time. I think I missed that in high school. I missed it in college. I wasn't having fun. It was more of a chore. It was more of a type of business down there. I know this is too, but I think I went back to the basics in football. And you have to treat football as a sport. It's a sport. I mean, people think it's religion. People think it's a way of life. But for me, it really is a sport. And you have to keep things in perspective and go out there and play and have fun. And that's what I'm doing right now.
And I think that's what everyone ought to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is a game, and if it is a game, it should be fun. And
it ought to be fun.
Yeah, and the more fun you can have, then the more you get out of it, and then the more you give to it. And you know, like Terrell Davis says, I know it's a business, I know you get paid and all those things, but doggone, it's still a game, and if it's a game, it can still be fun.
This is a Denver timeout. This is Terrell Davis' 8th 100-yard game this year.
His face is unrecognizable.
This man was ice.
His location is untraceable.
We've never been able to prove if he even exists.
His target is unthinkable.
This is an FBI access code.
Remember, public and brutal.
It takes an army to protect a nation.
Someone got to him!
But only one man to bring it down.
Operation's still a go.
Bruce Willis, Richard Gere, Sidney Poitier. The Jackal, rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Why am I always the last to know? When we got the Peterson account, I was the last to know. The merger, last to know. Hey, we got a new logo?
Introducing Ship Alert from FedEx.com. More than tracking.
And such a great football player. Sometimes things like this happen. Winning is so important to him. He's going to fight to the end. Actually, he gets cut right there. I don't think that's a very good call. I really don't. I don't think that's a good call at all.
Didn't look like he did anything.
Oh. Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing for Seau. That shouldn't have been called.
Now we had one earlier where Chad Brown almost took the head off of his Greg Whelan here.
Seau did nothing there.
But it is a major penalty, and the ball is advanced inside the Chargers 20. Here come the Seahawks on the run as Broussard trying.
Officially licensed and
San Diego doing a good job with gap control on the cutback runs. There's been no place to go. That time it was defensive end Marco Coleman and Sean Lee who combined on the stop.
That was a critical penalty against the Chargers, and it was not a good call. Junior Seau did everything there that.
38. McNair rolling right, throws, and has the completion.
Control of things, 34-0. And on the move. Elway. Escapes, throws it away.
Now, I was just figuring out something, Pat. Terrell Davis has 1,273 yards. Now, if you project that through the rest of the year, he would have 2,037 yards. So he'll rush for over 2,000 yards. I just figured that out in my head.
That's amazing, too.
Yeah, I just did it with my raw numbers. Just, you know, you just clicked.
Just clicked into that computer mind?
Well, what you do is you blink your eyes. And then stuff comes up.
Ruin. The high kicks. Red signal at the 15. A change in complexion for the Denver offense since Terrell Davis has been here. Look at this.
Yeah, if you look before he came here, look at they were doing 92 yards a game rushing, and that ranked 23rd. Then after he got here, he's been here 3 years, but look, they've averaged 125, 148, 162. They go up every year. They were 5th, 1st, and 1st. And then again, this year, you know, if we take our projections that we just projected, in those projections this year, he could be over 2,000 yards.
And that hasn't been done except by a couple of guys. Scott Green makes the reception, coming out of the backfield.
There's old Lodish in there. Where'd you see his dad?
Yesterday at practice.
Oh. He was just standing there. He didn't know he was going to be playing this much.
I wonder if he could get money out of his back pocket.
No. I mean, he couldn't get money out of his back pocket because money wouldn't fit in his back pocket.
And he couldn't reach it.
And his hand can't reach back there if it did fit in his back pocket. Because he has some tight combinations back there.
There's Collins. Down he goes.
There's old Lodish again in there.
Yep.
They're going to have to control him. He's an animal. They're going to take him and put him in the Pro Bowl if they don't stop. But look, they're double teaming him. He's running stunts. That's a twin stunt. He goes right through Fred Lane there at the end and says, hey, look what I found here.
A quarterback.
Big Richie's in there, 99. He's grabbing him, too. They're all grabbing each other, hugging. Hey, when you get one of these and you're running away like this, everyone loves everyone.
Sidearm incomplete, intended for Anthony Johnson. And the Panthers again will have to punt.
You know, Darian Gordon, of course, the punt returner. We know that he scored 2 already, but they haven't thrown on him much. I mean, he's not only the punt returner on this corner, on this team, but he's also the starting corner.
Yep.
And I don't remember them throwing or catching a pass on Darian Gordon. They may have, but I don't remember one.
They didn't even try.
So he must be doing something right out there in the corner, too.
He's going to have a chance at this one. Ooh. He came very close to breaking that one. He's broken 2. Next week, a flag on the play, first of all. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It all starts with America's most watched pregame show. And don't miss the key NFC Central matchup when the Vikings take on the Lions, followed by the Redskins as they clash with the Cowboys, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Holding penalty was declined. You look at the standings. The Giants, who are losing at the moment, 6-3. Washington with their victory today, 6-4. Dallas evens their record at 5-5. The Eagles play tomorrow night. Arizona's 2-8.
Hey John, whenever you're ready.
Jeff Lewis is the new Denver quarterback.
Jeff Lewis from northern Arizona.
To Hebron. Von Hebron, ex-Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah, Von Hebron was waiting for his pulling guard, Mark Schlereth, to throw. Because you have to get that guard, has to get out in front there, and then he has to make a move. And then Hebron could only wait so long, then he just had to leave him. But Schlereth got out there and just didn't do anything. And the thing, when you're a pulling guard, you have to get out there, then you have to get upfield, then you have to throw on a defender.
Carolina Panthers have a short history, but in that short history, they have never been shut out.
They have never lost with more than 22 points.
Right.
By more than 22 points.
Hebron. Denver's triple threat. Elway, Davis, and Sharp. And they've all been productive today.
Yeah, and then if you were going to add a quadruple threat, you'd add Darian Gordon, because he was the guy that really broke the game open. I mean, when he got those 2 touchdowns and when the offense of the Broncos couldn't convert those third downs, Darian Gordon got him touchdowns while he was waiting for the offense.
3rd and short. They need about 3 yards to get the first. And Hebron will get it. Andre Royal brought him down. Here's Darian Gordon. Negotiated for a raise today, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think that the Broncos got a lot more from Darian Gordon than they expected. You know, they got a starting corner, and they got a great punt returner. And I don't think that, to be honest with you, I don't think they expected that corner part of it.
I know when we did the preseason game, they were still not sure about what was going on.
You see what Shannon Sharp and Steve Atwater were doing? I think they were talking about Evander Holyfield and Michael Moore last night. Congratulations to the champion, Evander Holyfield.
Tough fight.
It was a tough fight. Yeah, anytime Evander Holyfield gets in a fight, it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, one time you lose part of your ear. Next time out, you have a tough fight with a left-hander.
Shannon Sharp was looking for someone up in the stand. That's when you know you're winning 34-0 and there's only 4 minutes left to go in the game, when you start saluting the crowd and you're looking the other way, when you turn your back to the field.
St. Louis taken down at about the 36 by Ronaldo Turnbull, ex-New Orleans Saint.
And the Carolina Panthers have really slipped from last year, because you think of, you know, how well they did last year. Remember, they beat the 49ers twice. In fact, they went all the way to the championship
down the stretch.
Yeah, we did that game against the Green Bay Packers, and they were that close. They were 1 game a year ago from going to the Super Bowl.
Do you think they've slipped, or they're playing a tougher schedule?
I think they've slipped. I mean, they're not as good on defense. Obviously, they miss Kevin Green. They don't dominate on defense. They don't, you know, foul you up the way they used to. Their offense, they just can't seem to get anything going. I think they miss Willie Green a little.
I think they do too. 34-0, 3:15 left to play.
No matter what you drive, Sears has a Michelin tire for you. And now they're all on sale. All Michelin tires on sale through November 18th.
Tell us the truth, Doc.
I don't know. You know, you look at these Bronco uniforms, and they don't talk much about them anymore because they're going to be 9-1. And when you play well, everything looks good, and everything smells good, and everything tastes good. But I don't know. I still say the first time I saw these uniforms, I said, you know, they don't look like they're finished yet.
Right.
They look like they're kind of like halfway between what they were and what they're going to be.
They were all blue at that time. The time we saw them in preseason, they had blue pants.
Yeah. But I still don't know that they're finished. I mean, they still don't look like it's a finished look.
You said everything smells good. Were you in the locker room yesterday?
Yeah, locker room. I love the smell of locker room.
That's Anthony Lynn.
In fact, you know, we were talking about John Elway and how his son Jack was playing a game yesterday. He was playing a game against Anthony Lynn's son.
That's right.
And so both Anthony Lynn and John Elway were going to that game. I don't know who won. I didn't get a report on that game, but they say Anthony Lynn's son is a heck of a player too.
Jones waving to the family. 2 minutes left. The Broncos total control.
Miller Lite presents.
You shall be known as St. Vince.
Do you think these robes make me look fat?
I'm Kenny, a friend of Dick's. Miller Lite has asked me to find 4 cheerleaders to send to the Super Bowl. Today you're going to meet the Caesar brothers from Hawaii, USA. They have their own way of looking at cheerleading. So what do you think, America? Rah! Could the Caesar brothers be cheerleaders? Help us out. Participate where you buy and drink Miller Lite.
When the unexpected happens, Dodge Dakota swings into action. Standard dual airbags help guard you from the front. High-strength steel door beams help shield you from the side, while the front seats are designed to help protect you from the rear. When it came to building a safer truck, we considered all the angles. Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Tonight, Scully's deepest secret revealed.
What happened there? She's dying.
On the monumental 100th episode of The X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
2 minutes to go. Carolina Panthers have never been shut out. The biggest loss, as John Madden said a moment ago, is 22 points. That's going to take a beating today.
Looks like the Broncos are just going to kneel down.
See if anybody calls a timeout.
Well, the fans that have left here don't want that. I don't think anyone would. The Broncos aren't. The seasoned observer said that, you know, that he's seen enough. See, that's when you know, the seasoned observer always says when you go to the kneel down play that's the time to get your hat and get on out of here.
I wonder if he left.
And we just got word, Pat, word just in, the young Elways beat the young Lynns yesterday. It was a titanic battle, but the Elways won that game.
How'd you get that word so quick?
Just spread the word.
You know, you look at this. Don't you know now there's something I agree with you about the smell.
Well, that's the smell. I mean, you have smells all over. This is the smells, you know, before the game.
Oh, look, brat.
Oh, brat. I mean, you can't beat a good old brat. Brat in the snow.
A lobster in Denver?
Yeah, but they already, I mean, you're supposed to take the lobster out.
Yeah, well, eventually they will.
I don't know what kind of meat that is.
It's a little brisket.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So you get those smells, you know, coming in, and then you get the smells in the locker room, and you get the smells out here in the field.
Your dream would be to have some brats and some brisket and just have dinner in the locker room, right?
And just stay out there. Yeah, I mean, there's some guys that have a deal going like that and never get in the ball yard.
Well, I told you a seasoned observer.
Yeah.
34-0. Worst loss in Carolina history. Two teams, two coaches. Wesley Walls talking with Mike Shanahan. Oh, that's not Wesley Walls, who is that?
Steve Berline.
Steve Berline, yeah. We'll be back at Mile High.
Okay, I'll be back on Tuesday. The number's on the fridge. I color-coded all your meals so you won't be confused. The blue one is a beef dish. B is for beef. The pink one's a pork dish. P is for pork.
Brought to you by Energizer. Darian Gordon's first punt return. This one was 82 yards. And that put Denver ahead. Here's his second one. This one's 75 yards. He became the 8th player in the history of the NFL to return 2 punts for touchdowns in the same game. There, the two involved in the incident in the pregame, in the preseason game. Kerry Collins' jaw was broken. They've mended their friendship. We'll be back.
Michael Jordan is CEO Jordan.
Hey, I'm going to McDonald's. You want anything?
Yeah, give me a Big Mac and fries.
Hey, did somebody say McDonald's? Coffee and a cheeseburger.
A number 3, and supersize it.
Cheeseburger, apple pie, Coke, and you have call line 7.
Barry, fell in the mailroom. Look, we need 4 Big Macs. Would you hurry, please? Thanks.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
As you may have read on the internet, in a national tasting of ice and regular beers, Brewmasters named one beer the best tasting beer in America. Old Milwaukee. So when you want the best tasting beer, now you know what to ask your server for.
Right now, get some of Goodyear's best selected tires like Otwitch Reds, Eagles, and Wranglers, and get $50 or $75 good towards officially licensed NFL merchandise at participating Goodyear retailers. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR. Great Goodyear treads, incredible NFL threads.
This is the interior of the burliest sport utility in its class. The one that can tow and carry more than any other. Now that's probably hard to believe when you're...
Well, there's a saying, Don, that big-time players make big-time plays, and Galloway is a big-play, impact-type player. Bob Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday that he can... thinks that if he continues to work hard, he can be one of the top receivers in the National Football League. And Warren Moon has had a great influence on this young guy.
And you have to watch number 81. He'll be with the lower portion of the screen to the left. That's Tony Martin. He's the best San Diego receiver. Wheelahan looking to buy time. 6'5", 220. He heads for the 12th.
Is Denver 34, Carolina nothing. Don't forget, next Sunday it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. All starts with America's most watched pregame show. Then don't miss an NFC Central battle as the Vikings play the Lions, followed by the Redskins as they take on the Cowboys, plus other regional action. Check your local listings. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the NFL.
When it comes to renting a car, we believe there's only one place to go. National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Call National at 1-800-CAR-RENT.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home of the NFL, NHL,
out there. Burn the ball back down. Bridgewater kicks out.
But see, Temple penetrated, and he was fortunate that Bridgewater was able to handle that pass. That was almost a turnover on the part of Temple. Just no positive action on the penetration.
Temple got Sammons in the air and then drew the foul, and the shot drops through.
I know Perry Clark is going to be asking for the shot not to count because it seemed the ball got to the top of the backboard, but did it break the plane?
I know, that's the question. That's a tough call.
That is a tough call. I mean, that hit the very top of the backboard, but maybe that's what Collis Temple needs to get him going in this game. His first 3 points of the night.
And it's a 2-point ball game.
And he's showing still a little bit of a limp on the ankle sprain that he suffered a few days ago that caused him to miss a basketball game. But you're absolutely right. His defense on the right's kind of been unsung here in this game. And he starts singing it. He's doing a good job.
Double dribbled on Jones. Another turnover, and LSU can tie or take the lead.
Now Miami seems a little out of sorts, but here's the penetration by Williams. The one dribble pull-up by Collis Temple. Now from this angle, going to be impossible to see. Wow. I mean, that's a good call. I mean, that ball hit the top, but didn't break the plane, if you can understand that. The plane extends all the way up to the heavens.